What's up, guys? Pepe here with the NSX. I'm not going to work right away on it. It's still in the same shape that I left it before. I actually don't even know which one is which. That one is right, that's left. I have no clue. So I am going to change these guys. I have them. Where are they? Here. The parts are there. I already showed you the part numbers and all that. But here I got the seals for the ABS pump, which is a PDF that is in NX Prime. Actually, the site where this PDF was uploaded is down. So to get this PDF, you might have to search in the Wayback Machine and try to find it. These are the seals I bought. Of course, this site is really hard to find a simple seal. There's so many measurements you can, well, 3 measurements I think, or 4 in a seal. Anyways, to find this part number doesn't exist anymore, so they updated the part number, so it has to be. Anyhow, what I'm trying to say is that once I finish mine, I will upload the sizes, if they're all correct. Where I bought them in Fluid Seal, it's a local company here, so that you can buy them in the States, because I think this guy's from the UK. So and all the seals are in millimeters, which makes sense, but he doesn't specify if this is OD or ID. So usually when you buy a seal, it's the OD that you give them, and they calculate the ID depending on how thick is the seal. In this case, it's 2 millimeters. I think that's how it works. I might be wrong. You guys can correct me. But I bought all the seals except for the 31 millimeters. They didn't have 31 millimeters. But the person there said that I could maybe get away with the 29s, 29.5. I think that they have 30 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it up, do all the procedure, and then I'm going to put the seals, and whatever that I don't have, I will just buy them, and I will buy the closest one. I will take the seal over there, and they will give me one that is closer. Maybe one in Imperial will fit, and that kind of stuff. So I will update the part list for people that live in the other side of the world, and so that you guys can find the seals. And there is a kit for, I think it's $80, $90 US in eBay, which I found it expensive because I had to pay shipping to Canada, plus it's US dollars, so it ended up being like $130 or $140, and all this cost me $80. So I was like, well, you know, I'm not paying almost double. So and I actually, I'm just, you know, roughly calculating the shipping. I think the shipping was more expensive. So yeah, this is way cheaper, and plus you support your local companies. These seals are not that common. EPDM seals are not that common, but they usually have them. So if they don't have them, they will get it for you, you know, and they will take, I don't know, some of them 4 weeks or whatever. They told me 2.5 weeks, and they got it in 3 days. So, you know, pretty good. Anyhow, so I will update you guys with that once I finish the Leica, because I'm working on that right now, and I will do the VTEC seals first, because otherwise I can't move this car. And then I will do the ABS pump. Yeah, I need to do all that, and I have been trying to find aftermarket coils for this. The guy in Lap in the World recommended some, but they are not available anymore, and I didn't want to buy just any Acura Legend coil or NSX coil. I wanted to buy one aftermarket that people use. So anyhow, I might actually buy the ones that are sold on Rock Auto, which are $50 each. because it seems to be that every single coil is out of spec, so no matter what the temperature is. So anyhow, I will update you on that later, but I will get into the seals first, and then these other seals, sorry, gaskets, seals, gasket, whatever it is. Finally I'm getting to install the VTEC solenoid. I'm still waiting for a few parts. I started already to assemble the ABS pump, that will be the next rebuild, but I'm doing this quickly so I can put them together, put oil in the engine so I don't forget. And so I'm cleaning the solenoids right now, taking them apart and cleaning them really well. I cleaned them fairly well. They're here. It's full of oil in this area here. I checked the resistance. The manual calls for 14 to 30. Mines are 18, so they're just fine. So I'm going to replace this gasket here and the gasket here, and I will put them together, and that's about it. And then I will put oil in the engine, and after I have no leaks, actually after that I think I'm going to wash the engine because it's so dirty that I'm going to wash it anyways. So yeah, so I'm doing both right now, and I will keep you guys updated. There's millions of videos of how to clean VTECs on the solenoid, so I'm going to explain you, but take them out, clean them up, put the new gaskets in, end of story. Follow the manual. Manual is online, or you can get the printed version if you want. Follow the manual, torque them down. It's busy. So I'm cleaning all that, cleaning the connectors and so on, and then I will remove that today, hopefully, because I have the seals. So yeah, and that will be next. And of course there is brake fluid all over because I made it wrong. There is a bleeder screw down there which didn't work, and somehow the wind blow the instructions. Yes, there's wind now here. That's why. Yeah, there's a brake fluid all the way down there. There's a keyhole. I have no idea what it is for. But what did I do yesterday? I did a lot of stuff. I removed this thing, which took me forever because I didn't remove the tire stopping thingy, whatever, bracket from it, and I didn't remove that is for the automatic acceleration thingy, which is called the thingy. I completely forgot the name. Cruise control. Forgot to remove that. I didn't follow the instructions. I mean, these instructions are somewhat okay. Found a video of a guy, Dan, I think his name. Super good video where he explains what to do and how to do it. Just follow that video. It's better than the instructions to remove it. The instructions are good for the seals, I guess, more than for those stuff. Anyways, but basically, I made a stupid mistake and took me a while, and I removed some of the brake lines too, which are there. It wasn't necessary, but because the way I did it, I made a mistake. That's all. So what's happening is that this bracket is ugly. Look at this. This is a bracket under the thingy. Forgot that the name of that accumulator. The accumulator, and it's so rusted, of course, because brake fluid goes through it and the paint gets destroyed. Same that with here, all that this paint is coming loose because of the brake fluid. The history with this car is that the brake reservoir was broken, the original one, which is here. So if you look at this reservoir, oops, which these are not the original screws. I'm going to save them there. You see someone trying to glue it, but of course it doesn't work, and the problem is that a lot of debris went down here and contaminated the ABS system. And anyways, I was told that this was working if the reservoir was full of fluid. After checking it really well and seeing how contaminated this thing is, I think it's almost impossible to have good braking system with this. It's just, I mean, everywhere inside of the pistons and all that was full of crap. So I'm going to clean all this really well today after I finish with the Delica. Delica has priority. But I wanted to make a video because this bolts, washers, they are attached to this side here with these long bolts, and these things were completely rusted, like the whole surface was rusted. So I cleaned them up a little bit and I put them in this solution, which is a rust remover thing, and as you can see, that's how they come out. Basically now there is no rust in it. It's chemically removed. Let's try another one. This one too, you see all that black stuff is the rust that got dissolved basically. So you clean them up and they come up like brand new basically. Well, not really brand new, but they come up without no rust. And this is stuff I use. This is one of the best products I have used for submerging things. This one is good for surfaces where I'm sorry, for surfaces that cannot be submerged, like, I don't know, a panel, a door panel, or a roof or whatever. And this is gel, so it's the same brand. I'm sorry. You can find Canadian Tire, and you can spray that in gel and then leave it there to remove the rust chemically basically, and then you can paint on top of it after you clean it up and so on. So anyhow, why I wanted to show you that, because I'm picky with painting and all that, and I like all the stuff clean. I'm not going to paint this unit because it's full of brake fluid, so there's no point, but I'm going to clean it up really well. But I do want to paint this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the vise. I'm going to remove these guys. I already cleaned it up a little bit, believe it or not. It was full of stuff. And I'm going to wire brush it with that wire brush right there. And then I'm going to put it on that bucket with boiling water or really hot water. And I'm going to pour all that container, which is about, I will say, maybe 700 milliliters, because I use a little bit of it already. And I'm going to use that to basically get rid of the rust. This thing is basically phosphoric acid. So usually you don't supposed to dilute it, but I'm going to dilute it because I used to work with phosphoric acid before, and you can dilute it in water, and it takes longer to take effect, but it does the work. It does the job. So since this part is too big I will have to do it like only this side and this much of liquid, and then this side. Too much time lost, so I'm going to just dilute it, and I just leave it there for overnight, and that's about it. So I'm going to show you later how it looks like. Okay, see you guys. Bye. Wait. I guess another thing is, when I was checking the master cylinder, you can see there, the seal seems okay, but all this was full of brake fluid. As far as I know, I was told that this master cylinder was replaced, and I think it's true because it's very clean, and there is no marks in the rod in here at all. So I am guessing that this is pretty new. But you can see there is gunk there. You see that? Oh, there. Oh man, why is there? You can see all that brake fluid. Oh man, I hate this. Oh, there you can see all the crud there, which is actually very similar to the crud that you see here. So a lot of contaminants was through it. So I'm hoping that this thing is still okay. So I'm going to clean it up really well and hope for the best, I guess. I'm going to clean it up really well. Yeah, I may undo that bolt there. Come on. Why is hit it? Anyways. So yeah, so that's the thing. I'm going to clean up all that. And I think they sell this seal for what I heard. I am tempted to remove it, but at the same time, if I cannot find that seal, then I'm screwed. But you can see it's super wet there. I mean, the seal is wet, so I'm guessing it's leaking, or the master cylinder is leaking, one of the two. So the rebuild kit for this master cylinder is like 17 bucks. So I was thinking, well, I could rebuild the master cylinder, although I think that master cylinder is fairly new, but the kit comes with this seal, so I can change this seal that maybe wasn't changed when they reinstalled it, because this is like brand new liquid. I mean, and some of it came out when I removed it, but you see all that crap there in the rod. So that's why I'm thinking that maybe this master cylinder was not rebuilt, sorry, was not replaced. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to look and see, because I think that these are Honda master cylinders. If they're cheap enough, I'm just going to buy a new one. The thing is, well, I don't know. I have to think about this. We will see. I think I can buy a Honda Legend one, and it's going to be the same for very little. And my only concern is that it's not going to have the seal that I need for the brake booster, which I saw in the kit. So maybe I have to buy a master cylinder and the seal, which would not be ideal. So anyhow, that's the status, because I don't want to put all this together and then have this thing leaking. Although it's easier to remove than the ABS unit, but still, I mean, if I can avoid it, I'm making better the whole braking system, so I don't want to do work twice. So that was 10 minutes of wire brushing, for less than 10 minutes. I use these guys usually to clean up the easy stuff. You can use a grinder, of course. I have air tools too, but I don't have the, I mean, I could use it in that one, but it's too fast, it's too dangerous. So I use a drill with this steel thingies I bought in Amazon. I think I bought, I don't know, it's like 30 of them for 20 bucks or something. No, 20 of them for 30 bucks. And yeah, that's what I left with. So now I'm going to, because I wanted to remove the big scaly rust. Oh, I missed a spot right there. So this type of rust here, which is built up, you kind of want to remove that anywhere. And this is after I brake cleaner. Remove the grease as much as you can and remove this stuff. You can leave it there, but then, you know, you will see rust under, so it's better to get the whole surface cleaned up, like almost to the metal. You could white brush this whole thing and paint it after. That's true. It will require far more work, which I don't want to do, and I know that chemical works wonders. So anyhow, I just wanted to show you how the preparation kind of like gets to put that thing in. You know, the paint was so loose, it's basically just rust. So, and so I will show you the results tomorrow, although you don't have to wait. I do. The magic of the internet. Video update of the bracket for the ABS pump that I left in that fluid I mentioned earlier. Look at this. All the rust is gone. Basically, after this, look at it. It's perfect, basically. Yes, this is how it gets. It's kind of a little bit black, and yeah, so it's ready. You know, stay just overnight. You just wash it, degrease it, prime it, paint it, good to go. The most effective paint would be powder coating. That I think will resist brake fluid. I think so, I'm not sure. Anyhow, that's very little effort to get there. $10 bottle, some water, a wire brush for 5 minutes with a drill. That's the result, and then you can paint it right away if you want to. Anyhow, that's all. See you guys. Bye. This is the bracket for the ABS pump. After the acid, after coming out of the acid, as you can see, this is it came out of the acid. It dries up, and then it kind of like flash rusts really quickly. So you have to like clean it up really well. So you're supposed to like clean it up with water and then wire brush it or something. So I wire brush it with the drill. I just hold the drill in my vise like there, and I put a wire brush, and this is how it comes out. So you can see here all those porous kind of like holes. Well, that's where the rust was eating the metal, and so this is why I like this product. And usually phosphoric acid or immersion to chemical removal of rust in these cases, because then it gets into the pores of the metal and takes the rust out basically. So now this is degreased, ready for paint. Sandblasting is another way. That's a mechanical removal of rust, but I like this because it's zero effort, and sandblasting is a mess, even if you have soda blasting and all that. So I prefer to do this, and I spray the gel version of that there, so it's already turning black. So I'm going to wait for it to react, and then I will clean it up and prime it and paint it black. I have the black paint, which is this one I use. It's called Sam Trim Black, which is like OEM color. So all the kind of like trim pieces, metal trim pieces of cars, that's pretty much the color you want. So I always use that color for painting, you know, parts that are black. So now I'm going to spray this super etching primer in these parts, and then maybe a few coats, like 2 coats, and then they will be protected and ready for paint basically, and that's it. I will update with the pictures of them primed and then painted. Okay, how does it look like after the chemical rust is over, prime and paint? And this is how it looks like now. It's not my best paint job, but you know, it works. It has primer and paint. It still needs to cure, but that's 2 coats of paint, and you can see the pores, you know, that the primer didn't cover, and the paint either. The paint is very thin, so if you want to cover those holes, if you want to get that meticulous, you have to use a high build primer after the self-etching primer. This is a bracket that is in the bottom of the car, no one sees it, and we just want to protect it against future rust. Hopefully the brake fluid will not break. Will take a while to break this off. Take off the paint, and these are very heavy coats. I think I did 3 coats. Have some runs there, but very heavy coats. No rust. It's all painted, so it's good to go. I think I'd maybe pour 15 will be a better option for this. I do have pour 15. I forgot about it. So I could have painted with that. Pour 15 is more, you know, rust proofing paint, and I think it's somewhat solvent resistant. I think so. I'm not sure. It's a super tough paint, so it's really hard to get it off. But I think that this will do fine. So anyhow, so that's up there with the bracket, and here I in the master cylinder I use the wire brush to clean the loose paint that before it was just few areas only. You can tell that, you know, it was all dripping all around, and in the bottom here, that this part here, yeah, the paint came off. So I put more of that rust dissolver thing, the gel version of it. So let it sit, and that's why it looks kind of black. And tomorrow I just wire brush it to clean it off, then degrease it, and then I will paint the black, and it will look brand new. So I'm going to paint basically this area here. I'm going to take this hose off, and I'm going to paint the whole thing down. I will have to mask around, of course, so it will look brand new while I wait for the master cylinder. And here I can show you, sorry for the mess. I think that I reorganize my garage every 3 months, and it looks amazing, and then in 1 month is a mess. So here I'm doing the ABS pump, and you can see, look at how much crap there is here. Just crazy how much stuff there is. All that debris everywhere. It's like everywhere. There's build-up everywhere. Look at this here. This area here, it was full of sand, literally, and dust and stuff. But this is all dirty. You can pick up some of the dirt. You see more in person, but all that black stuff there was like down there too, down the middle. Pretty bad. You can tell here the pistons, how they are. And that's a wire mesh under there that was full of stuff too. So all these seals are getting replaced. Look at that. Look at that one. Look at how much stuff there is here. It's crazy. It's crazy. Look how big that is. Yeah. So and it's sand. So you can see my fingers. This is actually big sand, chunks of sand. So I need to clean all this. I cleaned that up already a little bit. I need to clean the top of it. I need to clean the pump, which I'm going to test too. There's a few tests we can run. And well, because I didn't buy that kit from eBay, these are the 31mm seals. I tried to find them locally. No one has this EPDM seals. It's hard to find. Found all the seals except these ones. So at the end, I think it's going to be cheaper just to buy the kit. If you're going to do this, just buy the one on eBay. It's cheaper. These are EPDM Enduro 70 metric seals. This is a 31mm ID, 2mm CS cross section basically. So I think it's a 33mm or 34mm OD. I think that all the seals are measured ID, because the OD is the ID plus the CS basically is equal to the OED. I think that's how it is. I measured this one. The ID is 31mm. So these are still, they're kind of old, but they're not broken or anything. They're kind of flat though, but they are still protruding out of the slip. So I think I'm going, since I don't have them, we're just going to reuse those. But the most important ones are the ones in the pistons, you know, top and bottom, and these guys, top and bottom, these are different too. But I'm going to check with one more distributor, because I want to get there is a piston inside here which has a 6mm by 3mm seal, which I would like to get. Those are the upper piston, the upper cylinder, because this is kind of like a cylinder piston rod seal. I don't know what is the name of it, but it's basically a rod that goes here, and which is this rod, and that rod has in the other side, so that rod there at the right about here, it has another seal that is at 6mm by 3mm is thicker than this ones, which are 2 millimeters cross section. So I wanted to change that one. These ones will be impossible to find. I think that they have this weird shape. I don't know how they're called or anything. The guy in the seal place said that no, those ones in EPDM will be impossible. So I will try to find the round O-ring inside, and hopefully I can't find it and change it. If not, they look really good. I checked two of them and they look really good. So I'm more concerned about this ones than the ones inside. But anyhow, so yeah. And this one was this guy was stuck. So I took it apart, and it was full of debris inside. I mean, you can see a little bit of the debris. It's hard for the phone to focus. There you can see some debris there. So yeah, it's crazy how much stuff there is here. So yeah, so I'm going to be rebuilding it by the book. This is super sharp. I don't know if it's supposed to be super sharp or not, but anyhow, that's the update so far. So I'm going to get this done. Hopefully I will get the master cylinder on Saturday so I can put it on, finish this tomorrow I hope, and install it, and then I'm still waiting for the transistors for the SRS unit, which I'm not going to record a video because I think it's like do it at your own risk, but you can actually change the transistors. One of the transistors was broken, so that's why it was blowing off the fuse all the time. So anyhow, but I want to finish this first, and then I have tons of cleanup to do. Look at this. And once I'm done with all that cleanup, then I will continue with the rest. But yeah, so that's update, guys. Take care, stay safe, bye.